Okay, we are streaming now. Cancel, discard. Let's see.
Oops, something went wrong. Please try again.
To quote my kids, something went wrong in your butt. You just add that to the end of anything, and all of a sudden it's hysterical.
Something goes wrong in my butt daily. Oh, that's right. We're live now. Never mind.
Yes, but if it happens every day, then
that's something going right.
Yeah, then it's what's the word? Consistently normal. I mean,
it's regular.
Regular.
Well, oh,
did something. Wow, that sounds very chipmunk-like. What is that app? Is that how you listen to the podcast, Eric?
So what?
Is that how you listen to podcast?
I'm trying to be like you, Dor.
What app is that? It's horrible. It sounds like chipmunks.
What? This isn't how you do it?
No, you ain't supposed to sound like chipmunks. I mean, I've been wrong with a lot of stuff in my life, so maybe I'm completely wrong.
No, this app's completely not working. It did kind of work though at 3 times speed though. Just to say, I can't really experiment with anything but our own podcasts.
That wasn't 3 times speed.
I don't know what it was. It was chipmunk speed.
Because I could understand it perfectly.
They run 3 times.
That wasn't 3 times, man.
Okay.
Or their measuring stick is warped. I don't know.
What's this notification I'm getting? Okay.
I don't know what to tell you. Weird.
No, you wouldn't know. You're not in front of my screen.
I was going to say, it makes it really difficult for me to answer that question.
No,
How's this notification I'm seeing?
I was thinking out loud. I got to go to the old school, though.
I'm going to say the notification is fried cheese. Okay, go to the old school.
Old school. Hey, Google, just make original version.
Normal.
Oh, wait, let me do this. Okay, Google, make original version and Hangouts the default.
They don't want you to use it. It's like, the EU.
How'd that go today? No, we'll talk about that on the show. That's exactly what we talk about on the show. This show.
No, we don't. We don't talk about the EU on the show.
Oh.
Do we? Am I missing something?
It's huge.
Why is it called that?
You don't have the Brexit app yet?
Makes it sound like somebody from the ghetto trying to say the word breakfast. They don't know how to say it.
No, it makes somebody from the ghetto sound like they're trying to find the place where they make breakfast.
Yeah, because my cousin-in-law, up until at the age of 7, I think it was, swore to my wife that the word was not breakfast. The word was
breakfast.
Prefix.
Breakfast?
Breakfast.
I can see somebody think it's break fast.
Yeah.
So there's people who say Paschetti. Also.
Yeah, well, no comment to those people.
Those people got what they deserved. At least the one I know who used to say Paschetti.
Okay, so How you doing? Hey, look,
Queso and chips.
I love queso. Good queso.
No, I can't figure it out.
Can't figure what out, Eric.
Um,
You need some
Nah.
Steve C in your life.
I do. No doubt about that.
Well, like me,
I can't figure out why I took 2 Benadryls earlier and then decided to try to podcast.
because you like the challenge.
It's going to be a challenge. All right, there it is right there. Add that to the line of stuff. Log into podnutz.com/live. I haven't done that yet. That's a thing. In case you guys haven't been there. Anybody who's listening to my voice right now other than Door is already there, though. Oh, no, they could be watching this recorded.
Yeah, or subscribe to me on YouTube. I think they get notifications too when I go live.
Yeah, so I had these bad spider bites, so I figured I'd take Benadryl and see if that would. In case, I don't want.
So much for going outside, sucker.
I know. These probably came out of my bed. I'm guessing they had
What?
me.
They don't nest in your bed.
Well, I know if I'd have had a spider on top of my leg, like where this big bite is, I'd have known it. Unless I was sleeping.
No.
Yeah.
Peter Parker didn't notice.
He did too. He watched it bite him, didn't he?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say no because I don't know.
I've only seen that movie once, and I was on an airplane when I saw it.
Do you remember the old live action show from the 70s?
Yeah.
Oh man, you watch that now. It is so painful.
Oh, dude, everything from my childhood's painful to relive. Wow, that didn't sound good, did
No comment there, brah.
it?
Okay, so are you ready to rock?
Yeah.
And from a podcast this week, I learned when you're on a boat and it does this, you're rocking.
Mm-hmm.
But when the boat does this, you're rolling. So technically, you can rock and roll when you're on a boat.
My podcast repertoire is not nearly that diverse to learn about boats.
He was talking about the Disney cruises for some reason. I don't know why. Okay. Your Audacity up and running.
It is.
Go ahead and hit record in 3, 2, 1. Record. Tick, 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 tick. And I had somebody else beg me, please do not tap your mics. It damages them.
I know. I'm not really tapping it hard, though.
I said, look, I'm not saying you're wrong, but what I will say is some of my guests has been tapping them every week for 4 years.
True.
And they don't seem like they're broken mics.
And me tapping this mic is not the worst thing that happens to it, because when I'm on the road, it's thrown into a laptop bag and thrown all over the place. It gets tapped way harder than.
No comment. That was too easy.
Gets tapped way harder. Than.
Okay.
Audacity
is up and running.
Wait, we're live.
We're streaming on the tubes of Eunice. Give me a second. We're on episode 436. 436.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 436 of the Android App Addicts show. My name is Eric Ardini, and some people call me the manager. And tonight I am joined with the man of the hour, the Linux maven, the Android specialist, DoorToDoorGeek, Steve McLaughlin. How you doing, Door?
Hey, Eric, I'll admit I've been thinking about alternate names for years now for you, um, and I keep thinking like director. I mean, something sounding more managerial without the word manager. But then I also remembered some mafia word. What was that? I can't remember. There's a mafia position.
Godfather.
No, that's too much. It was
Hmm.
like I want to say, ah, I can't remember. I think
Don.
no, because that sounds like
Mm.
almost like a nickname. I want to say it was almost like governor, maybe.
Governor.
Can't remember.
Hey, I was actually I was just in a meeting before the show started,
Oh, where?
uh,
Okay, never mind. Okay.
and they were going to add a title to me
Mm,
as collector.
collector. That is definitely mafia like.
Yeah. Now, this would not be the first if they give me this position, this would not be the first time I've been a collector.
Okay.
Just saying.
So you visited local people and you informed them it would be a shame if they would lose their protection.
No, no, but it would be a shame if they couldn't make it to work later today because I just repoed your car.
Ah, gotcha. That is a collector.
I did that for a while. I probably repoed about, no, 350 cars, I bet, at
Yeah.
least.
You're a more dangerous fella than I. I'm a sissy. I don't want to repo cars. Um, two people I know of, and I know them basically, got shot in the middle of repoing a car. And I really enjoy not having extra holes put into my body.
We've got enough holes as it is, man.
Right.
It's hard to keep them from leaking out. I never got shot at. I got threatened. Um, I had all kinds of weird story. I could go on. I could do a whole week of podcast on just some of them stories,
Mm,
but we'll save those for that podcast. That what
okay.
we used to do when we were young podcast.
Gotcha. Do you have any, and I'm going to pull the mark this week. Do you have any new hardware to speak of, Eric?
Well, I don't know. I have a new extended battery for a Galaxy S3 with a case, just so I can try to bring this thing back from the dead.
Mm,
Yeah, that's not really exciting though.
no, it's not.
The,
That,
the,
that's like Barack Obama getting, I believe, a Samsung Galaxy 1, not even a 2, this past week.
remember Dor when this was the Galaxy S3?
Exactly. Yes.
Aren't those
Uh-huh.
fun days?
Those were definitely different times.
Yep. This was a premier phone in its day. Um, the USB port's bad, so I had a what's the correct pronunciation? Qi charger?
Chi, I
Cheese?
believe,
Oh, okay.
like
So I had a
cheese.
Qi charger on a regular, which was QI, right?
Yeah.
On a regular battery, and it worked fine. It was okay. My son was using it, but I gave him my Note 4 when I got the 5X. He doesn't actually use it as a phone. He doesn't have a service plan or nothing like that. He just uses it for Snapchat, Facebook,
Right.
messaging of different ways to people at school. So he gave me this one back.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I'm trying to make it useful again, but the the lack of a way to charge it makes it difficult. Other than you don't want to have to pull the battery out all the time, throw it in a wall
Right.
charger, which is what I'm doing now.
Yeah, that is a bit painful. I technically got some new hardware this week.
What'd you get, Door?
Unfortunately, it was a $18,000 edition of Android Auto and accompanied by a free car.
Well, one of those is a really good deal.
Well, it's not a great car. It's an okay car. It's a modest car. It's a 3-cylinder putt car, which it was only like literally $13 or $14 to fill the tank up, which made me feel really
Wow.
good.
Yeah, even with the gas prices as they are now, it's like $40 for me to fill mine up. I would like to just come over to your house if you don't mind, maybe after the show. Come over. I just want to sit in your car and smell.
It does have that smell.
Oh, there's nothing better than new car smell. I've only actually got to own that once though, and I'll never do it again. But
We
it's a
had
great smell.
Yeah, this is, I believe, our first new car in about a decade, just about 9 years, I think. Um, but the Kia we had that Steve incessantly made fun of me for years, the timing belt was getting ready to have to be replaced. A major tune-up was coming. The shocks were just about gone. Two of the tires were going to need to be replaced. The back passenger window would roll down, not roll up. It was a whole bunch of little things we just said, "That's it. Get rid
What
of it."
was that, a Kia Soul?
No, it was a Kia Spectra.
Spectra.
Yeah. It was the cheap. So we got this. We got a Mitsubishi Mirage, which is almost reminiscent, if you remember back in the day, the Geo Metro,
Oh, man.
where
Yeah.
it where if you had like 4 guys in it weighing 200 pounds apiece, it would take literally like a quarter mile to get up to 35 miles an hour,
Yeah, but
you know? And I know that
tho
from personal experience.
those Geo Metros were bulletproof, though. Those things run forever.
Well, and that's what our hope is, that this will be able to run for a long time, because we literally only wanted a car that would make it from point A to point B in a economical way, because we have to go through Baltimore traffic, which means we don't need acceleration. We don't need speed, because most of the time is spent in traffic where you're going like 30 miles an hour on a major interstate highway.
Oh, yeah, well,
So
that's perfect.
I'll say this, it should be a good experience. But I finally got to experience quote unquote Android Auto.
Nice.
And I'm going to tell you, it's a very mixed, to me, experience.
Wait, no, before you get into the review of Android Auto, this car, you did not get the base model and got Android Auto in it, right?
We have the Mitsubishi Mirage SE edition, and I believe it has virtually all the bells and whistles. But the way I denote it, do I have all the bells and whistles, is do I see places on the console or the steering wheel where there's a plain plastic square, where there should be something there.
Oh, yeah.
There should be something there. There should be something and I do have a couple of them, but we do have most of the bells and whistles.
So, okay. All right. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and it's like I believe a 6-inch screen in the console. It's a decent sized screen. Um Radio, it does have a CD player, and when you're not moving, I believe it can play DVDs, which of course complete waste of everything, but
Huh. On on
Bluetooth,
on the 16-inch screen, it'll play DVDs
yeah,
out of your car?
but only when you're still, not when you're moving. And
Camping car.
okay, and that trend will continue on. Okay. Bluetooth. This is also my first vehicle with Bluetooth. So the first thing I did, first day, I just connected Bluetooth. And one of the biggest pains to me is, me and my wife both have phones. Once in a while she listens to stuff, once in a while I listen to stuff. You cannot I create a connection on a Bluetooth device, on a Bluetooth stereo in a car while you're moving. You have to be stopped. Literally, there's no button to connect a new device while you're moving.
Uh,
It
yeah,
is it's
that's
a
not cool if you
it
got
is
somebody in the back seat with a really good song on their radio on their phone that you wanna hear.
right. But they're quote unquote trying to be safe, just like not playing a movie on the screen while you're driving. They're trying to be safe. Um, I'm a fan of natural selection. Let me just say that. If people are dumb enough to do stuff, um, okay, now a day later, and I don't see, I'm connected via Bluetooth, and I don't see a way to enact the little icon on the main screen that says Android Auto. So I'm stupid. I'm confused. What's going on? I don't understand this thing. I just keep driving. The wife
Okay.
pulls out the owner's manual and figures out. She opens up the glove box, and there's a short, like 5-inch cable with a female full size USB A plug at the end. The hell is that? She said,
Hmm.
"That's how you connect to Android Auto." I said, "In the glove box?" Makes no sense to me. Complete stupefaction. Um,
Wait, why do you need to connect to Android Auto?
if you want to use Android Auto, that's how you connect to it.
So if you
Okay.
don't have an Android phone, you can't use Android Auto?
You can't use Android Auto, period.
Oh.
Uh,
Oh, wow,
the
so it's running off your processor or your phone?
Well, yes, and also the car does have Apple Play, which I believe is the same way. You can only use it if you have an iPhone. Okay, so here's the gimmick: you open up the glove box, you connect your phone. You have to also have the Android app on your device, which will be my first app of the show. Um, the Android Auto app then said waiting, updating, so it's actually updating the firmware in the car, which I like that.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but uh, then it says connecting. Do you agree to terms and the services? And hello, Danny.
Hello, Dad.
Do you like the new car?
Yes.
Okay, give me a kiss. I can smell you from here. You smell fresh and clean.
Mm-hmm.
Now I need you to go to bed.
Okay. Hi.
Hi, Danny.
Hey.
Okay, go to
Hi,
bed, buddy.
Mario.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, so you plug it up. It says it's updating, and then it's like terms of service. Once you say yes, the phone screen goes completely black and just says Android Auto on your phone. So now your phone is completely unusable. Okay. And they're telling you to put it in your glove compartment. I'm going to say again for safety's sake, because there's no built-in car mount or anything in the car. So you plug it up and then you close your glove compartment. Now, externally in the car, there's a couple things. There's the touch screen, 6-inch touch screen, which is the interface to Android Auto. Right in front of my steering wheel is a little microphone, which is the mic for Android Auto or for uh, uh, Apple Play. And then over by the passenger, by the very front, there's a box, which is the GPS. So I'm believing now through that USB connection, it's using the external mic on the steering wheel, the touch interface in the screen on the dash, and the GPS in the car. There's 5 main buttons on Android Auto. Map, music or audio, contacts, home, and then I can't remember what the last one was, but it was not very compelling, I'll say that. The interface is literally like hampered, um, cut down, reduced, limited, whatever you want to put it, because there's an American automotive specification they have to meet, which is you cannot go deeper than like 3 clicks on a screen, because they deem if you go too far in depth in touches, it becomes too distracting. Blah 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 blah.
I,
The
I
audio,
can see that. I see that point.
I can too, but either way, now with my phone connected in the glove box, if somebody voxes me, I have no idea I got voxed. It might have a little notification come down the top of the screen, but I didn't hear anything. Maybe that was my setting. Um, Text messages come through and you can speak for it to speak it to you. It will ask you, do you want to hear it? Bung. You say yes. It will then speak the text to you and ask you, do you want to reply? Voice the text, tell you what you said, and then ask you, do you want to send? So that was cool.
Yeah.
The turn by turn direction interface was basically almost exactly like Google Maps in landscape, but I will say I think it looked better. I seriously think it looked better. The audio, well, the one thing I liked about the audio screen was every one of your audio based apps popped up. So right there, as soon as I went to audio, I could launch Google Play Music. I could launch Podcast Addict. My wife could launch Pandora, or one of those things. So I thought that was actually kind of cool. You had access to your recent searches, playlist, like that. So that worked as advertised. And in navigation and in the audio, at least I had a mic button in the top corner. I tap it, wait a second, Google Now, type bung, say what you want, and then blah. There's either asking you, is this the right place where you want to drive to? Or you search for Weird Al and, shows me all the Weird Al stuff. I click it and it plays. So if you're okay with the limited interface, it was actually really good. I'm going to try to use it for a couple weeks and see if I can put up with not having access to my Voxer or other apps while in the car.
Okay. So listening to that, I got a couple of questions and comments. I that takes me by a total surprise. I had no clue that Android Auto only ran off of a phone and that you couldn't use a phone when you're doing it. Um, the voice dictation, as far as being a safety issue, Can you say "Okay, Auto" and have it come up with a prompt asking you, being ready for you to say something then?
I no, not auto, but I do believe when I said Google,
Okay,
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 that,
Google
and then I
works?
believe it did come up and work exactly like it did on your phone right there. Yes.
Okay. Well, that's good. Because that I would hope so. I man, when you said you and your wife got in the car and the Bluetooth thing, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, you're" so I just assumed when you have Android Auto, you got 3 units instead
That's
of,
what I thought.
2.
That's what I thought too. I thought I'd be able to connect via Bluetooth and basically have it as my second screen.
Wow.
Right.
So there's no way to interact if you've got one phone plugged into Android Auto and someone in the back seat's got the song that they want you to hear. Can they still connect to the Bluetooth and play that song through your Bluetooth?
Yes.
Oh,
You can still hit home in the interface and it will go back to the radio console Mitsubishi interface to where you can go through your Bluetooth connections and play audio. And then when you want to go back, you go back to the home and click Android Auto, and then there's your navigation and everything else. Now, navigation will still speak to you if you have it on the whole time. So,
over the Bluetooth then. Yeah,
yeah,
that's good.
yeah.
Wow, that's just that I know it took you by surprise, and it's really taken me by surprise. That I don't know what to say, Door. It's just okay. So I've got a truck that somebody put an aftermarket CD player in. The minute I step into this truck, it connects to my phone, and it says Nexus 5X right on the screen, and it will automatically start playing whatever I was listening to before I turned that truck on.
Right. Same
And
here. And I kind of don't like that, but okay.
well, yeah, no, it's kind of weird because if you were like, listening to some insane plot clown posse, and then you've got your 4-year-old in the back seat and they've never
Okay.
heard that many cuss words in a row.
Okay. Quick question. What's worse to you? Insane Clown Posse or Joe Rogan? Wow.
Worse?
Never
Oh,
mind.
Joe Rogan.
Okay.
No,
Because
there.
you hesitated. I worried there. Maybe it's just the Benadryl, but
Well, worse. I mean, worse in what way? Worse for my 4-year-old or
just in
worse?
general. Just in general.
ICP all the way, man.
Okay.
I'm a juggala. No, I don't know.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, Door, I mean, are you going to do? What are you going to do every morning when you're driving this vehicle?
Well, first off, I despise the fact that if it's just me in the car, me being Fatty McFatterson, I have to lean over to the glove box, open it up, and plug it up to do it. I'm going to literally try to use Android Auto for a couple weeks exclusively because I really honestly do like the navigation interface. It's bigger, it looks a little bit cleaner. Um, I put the link in the notes. If you take a look at the second screenshot, you can see it has very big on the left side how far, what is your next action, street name, the time, the destination. On the right, it has like the map itself. Top right, you have your mic button, shows you all your phone stats right there. And then the top left hamburger menu, that's where you can go to points of interest, places you've been to recently, or go into map settings. I believe you can actually turn on stuff like satellite, turn off traffic if you want stuff like that. Um, so I actually like the navigation interface enough, I'll say, to keep trying it.
No, that's a nice nav. I guess I wish, a lot of times you don't know exactly where you're going. Okay, let me rephrase that. Sometimes I don't know exactly where I'm going. So having a passenger or wingman, a navigator next to me
Mhm.
can be looking this stuff up on their phone. It would just be so nice to Chromecast what they're checking out up to my Android Auto screen in the middle of the dashboard.
I'm not gonna
That
argue that.
I'm just as a user, that is exactly how I had expected
Me too.
to work.
I think I would have liked that much more, but I'll say devil's advocate, I can see people exclaiming that's a safety issue because it's too quote unquote interactive. Because you're not supposed to be playing with your phone when you drive. So I guess that shouldn't be as whatever as your phone.
My phone is on my dash. That's the only thing I interact with. I don't really touch anything else except, once I don't have. I've got an older Motorola Bluetooth FM transmitter thing in my car, so I have to start out by pressing the button. It connects to Bluetooth. Press another button. It gives me a station to tune to. After that, that's my Android Auto. And I'm not checking Voxers while I'm driving, but I might be playing a podcast or doing nav, and it cuts in and out just fine. When I have a turn coming up, Podcast Addict will pause. My turn coming up notification will speak. It stops speaking. Podcast Addict starts back up. That's the way it should be. I mean, you've just got the way you're describing it, Dora, I just feel like I would have a car mount sitting right in front of that 6-inch screen with my 5-inch screen there. I don't want to hear that. I don't want it to be that way.
I know. I will say if I had a full-size tablet right there embedded in the dash, it would be much more filled experience, if you will. But the wife and I kind of believe it's a safety thing. So let's play their game. Let's see what they say.
Yeah.
Just see if it's usable. Because worst case scenario, I have my mount in the car. I just plug up right there and just Bluetooth.
What do you think that cost you as an addition to that vehicle?
Well, because everything is a complete ripoff with a new car, kind of like a new motorcycle. Knowing them, they charged upwards of $600 to $800 for that head unit with Android Auto and Apple Play in it.
So I'd be interested in a month from now, after you gave it some test and tune, if you would have rather paid a guy professionally $400
Mhm.
to mount a Nexus 7 in that whole
Oh,
profession.
I can tell you, period. Yes, I would have much rather been able to stick my phone in a mount, hit my button to allow tethering, have that device in the dash, connect to my phone, use its data, and away we go. It would have
That's
been.
already you've made that determination that you would
Oh,
rather have that?
I'm sure, because here's one of the reasons I don't like Android Auto. Anything that causes friction is something I will not do. I am following the mandate given forth by Bruce Lee back in like the 70s, okay? Be like
Okay.
water. Be like water. I don't jump and I don't do all kinds of stuff. I sink into the cracks. If there's a crack, if there's an easier way to do something, I'm going to be like water, go right into that and do that. If I have to go in my car, lean over, open the glove box, pull out the cord, put the cord in, put my phone in the glove box, close the glove box, then get on the car and then start doing stuff on the dash, that to me is a lot more work than just walking in, slapping my phone in the mount, squeezing it, plugging from the bottom.
The fact that you have to plug it in is just so crazy to me. Do you think if you got Android Auto and a Mercedes, I mean, could it be the limitations of the car? If you got an Android app,
Nope, guarantee you.
Android
Guarantee
Auto
you.
has to be plugged in every
If
vehicle.
you take a look at even the video, Android Auto, the first thing that happens is the guy takes the phone, physically plugs up to the bottom of it. A second or two later, the screen on the phone goes black with just the word Android Auto. It's by design. And this is why I feel like Android Auto will be almost a novelty until something changes, like connecting via Bluetooth,
Yes, right.
or
That's the thing. I mean, really.
right, or it becomes more interactive, more like a native Android experience, which I don't know.
Android Auto should fire up in your car as soon as you turn the key. Okay, if it doesn't have its own hardware, so I guess I kind of understand where it would be a screen to some other hardware. So if you buy a car today, it's not stuck with the power of today's phone.
Right.
So, but if you shouldn't even have to take the phone out of your pocket,
I agree.
And
That's one thing I like. I get in the
that would be
car,
safety.
right, and that's one thing I do like about the car a lot. I get in the car, my keys are in the pocket, I sit down, I push the button, the car starts. I love the fact that I don't have to take my keys out of my pocket to start my car. Um, I would like to be able to get in the car and just have that screen automatically display the Android whatever interface without me having to do jump through all these extra hoops.
To do anything.
Well, here's the only plus I take out of this, Eric. More than likely, you're always going to need a physical connection for now, because that's the way the console is enabled. The car itself needs the physical connection, but the interface itself appears to me to be completely updatable by any time in the future via Google. Now, there might be some kind of hack I can download, click a couple boobity boos, and then when I connect it, there might be a way I can actually get a much more full, rich Android experience on that screen. But for right now, I don't want to hack anything. I just want to go with the native experience. And even if there is a way to hack it, I still might not, because it might cause the wife to go freaky panic. If we just spent over $15,000 on a car and you're hacking it.
The way you describe it to me, though, makes me think that that is impossible. There's no hardware behind that screen to update. You're just updating the app,
Yeah.
and it does the updates to the screen. There's nothing there. You got a screen. You got a capacitive touchscreen, basically.
Yeah.
Hmm. I mean, it's got a little firmware for running everything else. You know, like the Bluetooth and FM
Right.
radio and thing. Your FM radio is built in that same unit, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it's got that. I mean, I guess you could update that if you needed to. Hmm.
I don't know. You want to go to
It
a,
does future proof it that way, though. I guess
well, because yes, anytime they update the app or I update my phone, I'm going to get a new interface in the car, which is the way it should be.
Sure,
I shouldn't have to upgrade my car.
right. Because if you drive in some Maximas, like Nissan Maximas from the early 2000s, those were pretty cool and a heck of a screen, on the dash. But it's very dated now when it's like monochrome
Right.
with gold, and
Right. Yeah. It's like watching a movie and they pull out a flip phone.
yeah, it's a super it's a super new looking car on the outside, but the inside electronics is just really shabby. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed about that. I expected so much more out of it, but I guess if that's the way it's going to be for now, that is it. I mean, you really have to plug in an Apple too, the same way.
I'm 99% sure.
Well, I guess the sucks all around. I mean,
Well,
I would hate for Android to be connecting physically with Apple not or something like that because neither of them should. But
I don't know. Do you want to jump to a email?
sure. We have an email from Ivor Davies. He says, "Hey guys, have to say I really love your show and I found a lot of your app suggestions really, really good." Well, thank you, Ivor. That's better than we found them probably. Some of them are pretty good. A rare thing these days. Oh, is it a rare thing these days on us or that the apps are good?
Maybe a little bit of both.
Huh. Okay. I'll keep noted, Ivor. I will make sure that I try to bring better apps. Okay. I have an app installed that I've used practically every day since I found it about 3 years ago. I find it extremely useful and I think your audience would definitely get lots of utility out of it too. It's called and made share and the and made is all one word and then the second word is share. Um, it's called Animated Share, and I found it when I was looking for an app that I could use to share across social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, and Google Plus. This app takes whatever you share and will share it with any other app you have installed on your phone or tablet. Quite often, I have friends I want to share with on multiple social media platforms. This app lets me share one thing multiple times with just the touch of a couple buttons. Not only social media, but it will let me share email, articles, documents across all of my productivity apps, so like Evernote and Wunderlist, OneNote, and Google Keep. It's free and has a pro version, which I have, but to be honest, I find there hasn't been much call for me to use the pro features. Anyway, this is a great app, and I hope your listeners like it. Regards, Ivor Davies from New Zealand. Wow. Thank you, Ivor.
And I would say good day, but that would be insulting because that's Australia, not New Zealand.
Right. I don't do much social media. Google Plus is about the only place I do, but I do have a Twitter account, so I could just like Dora would say, automagically start posting to Twitter without even trying. I guess if I had this app,
Well,
you use something like this, don't you, Dora?
no.
No, you
I
don't.
use exactly this.
Oh,
Sean Johnsoni brought this app back in episode 73.
whoa, 70.
Okay. That's how long ago, because he says he learned about it 3 years ago. Well, we also learned about it about 3 years ago. This is one of the apps I immediately install on every device.
Huh.
Now, if you look at screenshots in the store, you can tell this app has not been updated for a good long time. 2013 was when this thing got updated. But here's the gimmick. It doesn't need to be updated because the basic share system in Android hasn't changed. Basically, anytime you open up any app and you hit share, it will pop up and say, do you want to use Android share or Android system?
Mm-hmm.
You pick Android share and say always. What it does is it enables you now to have a much broader selection of apps you can share with because, okay, for instance, on Apple, when you go to say share, it's only a very select number of the apps that are in that list. The application developer has to specifically say, I want to share with that app or this app. Okay. Now in Google, the app developers do have the opportunity to say, here's the suggested apps. And that's all you see in the list. Made share basically opens up the floodgates and will let you share virtually anything to virtually anything. And you can make up basically batches. For instance, this is what I do on my phone, Eric. I'm anywhere on the internet. I see an app. I think this app is cool. I say share, and then I say share to um, Get Pocket. I check the box. I go down a little bit. I say also share it to Google Plus. I check the box. Then I go down a bit further and say, oh yeah, and let me share it to Twitter. I check the box on Phoenix, and then I go down and I say check the box on Tiny RSS, and I check the box and I hit share. It basically shares to all four of them instantly. Depending on what you share it with, it might wait for that screen to disappear before it does the next share. So in one fell swoop, I can share to multiple places with very minimal effort.
So do you have to pick those places to share it every time, or
No,
can you
no.
set up a batch?
See, that's the thing with the Pro feature. What you can do is say, I want to combine my Get Pocket, my Twitter, my Google Plus, and my MH and my RSS into one entry and just call it social Android sharing. So then the next time I share, I only have to hit that one thing.
Well, I mean, the way you described it's not bad either. I mean, because there may be something. So maybe you have your Facebook account you just don't do that much with. You don't want to automatically have it just go to all those things. If there's something you just, like you use Facebook for only family, no podcasts or no
Right.
whatever. Yeah, I don't know how I didn't listen to Dirty Thumbs back then, but I'm installing it
Well,
now.
no, well, don't feel bad. Nobody listens to him.
That's true.
The other plus is when you get your share screen, you can easily click, hold, and drag entries up and down if you want to reorder how that screen looks.
Oh,
And then if you open up the app itself, you can say, okay, I never want to share anything to this app. Don't ever show it in any list. So if your list is too long, you can purposely remove entries.
huh. That's cool too. Because yeah, there's certain things that I would never use, but I still keep the app.
Yeah, and I will say thank you for the support, Ivor. I believe he was one of the guys that got a donation from this week, so thank you very much, sir. Um,
Cool.
this app is to me one of those golden apps. You have to use it a couple times, and then you can understand it. Is what I'll say.
Well, thank you for the email, Ivor. We really appreciate it. I think we've got another one too, don't we? Yeah.
Email, yeah,
Yeah, we've got another one. This one is from wow. You know what, you pre-warned me on this name and I didn't
I
even
did.
take a look. I just figured I'd just rock it right out the bat. So here we go. Flavu Siobanu. Hi guys, great podcast you have. I'm an independent developer looking for some exposure to my apps. Have you heard of Kinscreen? I imagine it's something your listeners would enjoy. I created this app about 2 years ago to conveniently keep your display on when needed and turn it off when it isn't. For power users, I created Lean Droid, which with the power of root has proven to be an incredible powerful battery saving tool. It automatically manages the device's radios to your preference. I have a few other apps you might find interesting, and you can find all of my apps, and he gives us the link for that.
Right.
For all of his apps, it says, please let me know if you'd like to talk about any of them on your show. I can provide you with free promo codes and give them out for premium upgrades. Well, have you? Yeah, I don't know if we need all that, but so have you checked out his app Kinscreen, Lean Droid, or any of his other apps store?
No, but this sounds a lot like the app I use right now. I've been using for years. Screebel,
Yeah.
SCREEBL, I believe it is. The problem with that app is I believe it's basically fallen out of support. So I am going to need to, I should be looking for alternative apps to replace it. Yeah, because what I'm using is Screebel Lite, because I have the paid version to it, um, the pro version of it. So I should look at replacing it. And this app, if you take a look at the screenshots, looks very unbelievably feature rich, and by unbelievable I mean completely feature rich.
Yeah.
Where you can say individual degree numbers, where you can say if my phone is standing straight up, for instance, never turn it off. If it's 10 degrees anyway, don't turn it off. But if it's more than 15 degrees anyway, turn it off. So if it's laying flat on the table, for instance, turn it off. A whole bunch of options like that. It also gives you customized time settings, how long to keep your screen on, because you might say, when I lay my phone flat, still keep it on for a minute and then turn it off. Or when, as soon as I put it down flat in 5 seconds, turn off that screen. So it does look like it's pretty feature rich, is what I'm going to say. You can also have different settings for when you're on charging or on a call, different types of things like that, which is also a good setting. So I think he has his head about him right. And what I'll say is I don't need no apps for free. If I like your apps, I'm paying you money. I'm going to encourage everyone else in the audience, if they like your apps, pay the money, support the developers. If you want to give us a key or two, I'll just post it on Twitter one time and just give them away, kind of thing. Um, I don't mind doing that at all, but this definitely looks really good. I'm gonna have to back up my Screebel APK and then give this one a try.
Well, I'm surprised when I look at Kinscreen, all the things it does that you don't have to have root for this.
Right.
That's a this is just if you're ever wondering how you can make your screen stay on or turn off when you want it to, this has every setting that you could possibly have came across. I mean, certain things like, hey, if I'm on a charger, leave it on.
Right.
Don't dim the screen if I'm on a charger because that way I can just look over and glance at it. I don't have to touch the thing. All that stuff. Where you can, I like how you can just drill down to the uh, to the degrees of tilt. You
Right.
know that you want it to keep the screen on or turn it off. That's Very good. And this app, Kinscreen, the developer goes by the name TechTick, TEQTIC Tools, TechTick Tools.
Right. Which is a lot easier to pronounce than
His name.
yes.
So a couple of the other apps he's got ClickLight Flashlight, LeanDroid, which he mentioned in the email, Kinscreen, Lock Me Out, Minimap, and Live Picks. And I
Y-
have not looked at those to see what they all do. And there's another one. Oh, yeah, I don't know if that's his.
Yeah, and then he has one called Wall Fix, which is
Wallflix.
Wall Fix.
Okay, that is his. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
that's his featured app.
And that is some wallpaper app that
Yeah,
you can use your own videos to have as your wallpaper.
very cool.
That's awesome. You know, how long have we all been waiting for that?
You in a while.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. So now all I need is somebody to make an animated GIF of the Podnutz logo with the dude sitting in the middle of the nut with his cell phone out. Make that animated on a GIF in some way. Challenge to the listeners.
Well, nobody
And-
else has that except for you, me, and Richard.
Oh, okay. So we need to post that. We need to put a link to this logo. Can we do that, Door? Is there a way to do that?
What's this weed? Do you have a mouse in your pocket?
No, it's in my hand though.
Okay, well then you can post it.
Okay, so I will try to find my copy of this if it's cool with Richard. Thank you, Richard. I'm gonna do it, and then well, Richard, Richard will probably be able to make the animated GIF. I probably don't even have to look elsewhere. He's the man. Okay, Door. Those are a couple of apps. Tick.
I'm just documenting real quick.
And all right, well, while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and go into an app. So I took my VR headset to work with me the other day.
Oh man, here we
I
go.
know. Well, I had to show these people because whenever you get a chance to introduce and expose people to technology that's relatively cheap, yet will blow their mind, you have to take that advantage because they're never. It's like you can never redo a first impression. They'll never forget the person who
Oh.
introduced them to 360 video and virtual reality.
You can, but it involves wiping the person's memory.
Right. Yeah, and these VR apps are just steps away from doing that anyway. So that should be that's good. So anyway, one of the people at work's like, you have to get me one of those VR headsets. I don't care what I have to pay as long as it's not more than $50. And they have like a Samsung Galaxy S6. So I'm like, yeah, that's fine. We just get you whatever. So I went online, found a really cheap headset, which actually I'm giving it to her because I don't feel right giving her the one I've had for like a year. But the one she's getting is actually a little better because it's open on the ends and you can run headphone cords through the open end, where mine is sealed kind of, and you can't listen to it on headphones unless they're Bluetooth. So anyway, I'm hooking them up, but now, you don't want to tell them apps to install really, let them ease into it. So a really good first place to go, I feel, to experience VR without adding, without even gaining access to their phone to install some kind of VR app is YouTube 360. It's a YouTube if you type in a Google search, type in YouTube 360, it will give you a huge list of 360-degree videos. In that list, you'll have trending and immersive with spatial audio,
Okay.
VR videos.
I don't see any app called YouTube 360.
I'm sorry, it's not an app though. It is just YouTube.
Oh, from within the YouTube app itself, you search.
Yes.
Oh,
You,
gotcha.
you search 360 videos. Now, once you click on one of those that you may want to watch,
Mhm.
down in the bottom right corner, you'll have a little cardboard picture down there. If you click that cardboard picture, it'll then turn it from a 360 video that say you'd watch on your tablet into the binocular view where it's separated in two and has to be then placed into some sort of a viewer and then strapped to your face. And then those 360 videos take on much more meaning than they were when they were just a YouTube video that was in 360. We can move around with it.
Ooh, Maroon 5. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Maroon 5's life.
McDonald's Angry Birds. That's BMW M2.
So
So you're watching commercials?
if you go to the trending 360 videos, maybe not the ones Door's reading the YouTube ads leaderboard 360 special edition ones, I'm pretty sure. So if you go to the trending 360 videos, they are not ads, except well, there is a Maroon 5 video
There
there,
is.
but that's not an ad. Those are some of the better ones. Things where you are just like hang gliding, and it's giving you these amazing visuals of cliffs and water and stuff. And then if you turn around while you got this VR headset, you see a dude who seems like he's got you attached to his left foot. And you're just looking at him, and you look back forward and you can see what he's seeing basically. This is a great first step, and this is a great demo for the
Oh,
headset before you get into actually installing apps.
here's one for my kid. Every Super Mario game ever in 360. Oh, yeah. I could see kids loving this one. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of content on here. I mean, just in the trending videos, there's over 100 just trending videos. And honestly, a lot of the apps right now are just videos,
Right.
either created by a computer or a fancy camera.
Fancy camera.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's kind of an app, Door, not exactly an app.
Well, it's an interactive thing, so that's cool. You're watching. See, every Super Mario game ever in 360 is only a 4-minute video. Okay, that's not every. Let's not get ahead of ourselves now. They're just showing you game covers. Wow.
Well, okay, so if you're saying that, Door, there's, as of today, since you brought it up,
Okay, I brought it up.
okay, today is Sonic the Hedgehog's 25th
Ew.
birthday?
Yeah, something
20th?
like that.
I think it's, yeah. So there's a 1-minute video that takes you, if you go to Amazon, there's a 1-minute video that takes you, yeah,
Okay.
Amazon.com
You're all
today.
over the place, man.
Amazon.com today says 25th anniversary Sonic the Hedgehog, and it gives you a video that shows every Sonic from day one to present in 1 minute.
Well, I'll say that's not very many, but because it is Sonic, and
That's not very many what?
games, because that sucks.
That's all the games.
That sucks.
It's not very
compared
long
to
on each one.
Mario. Jeez.
Huh?
Sonic is like the pro wings. They're like the dollar store sneakers compared to the Nikes. Okay.
Pro wings.
Look, I've
Sonic,
never.
no. Those are not two comparable items. The only
I
thing
agree. I agree.
the only thing that I used the segue from was that all of the Marios could be fit into 4 minutes, and all of the Sonics could be fit in 1 minute.
Yeah, I'm not a Sonic guy.
No.
Never have been. Nope. I played it. I remember as a kid, like once or twice, and thought, "Is this for mental invalids?"
Oh man,
Because
I played Sonic much more than Mario.
to me, Mario is much more challenging and in-depth kind of worlds. At least,
And
in
that's
my
why Mario was much more challenging, and that's exactly why.
Yeah.
All right, Door,
And I saw the Humble Bundle had some kind of bundle where you spend like $35, you get a shirt too.
Oh, okay.
And a whole bunch of Sonic stuff. And I thought to myself, I really hate Sonic. But my kid, let's just say I got two kids. I got the smart kid, and then I have the other one. And the other one really likes Sonic. That's what I'm saying.
The older Sonic games were a lot better. The new ones where you're like flying on a suspended from the bottom of a rail, kind of weird. No, I don't like the 3D Sonic at
All
all.
right, so I might actually get them for him because he really is like loves Sonic, and trust me, I love both my kids equally. I just know which one's going to be able to take care of me when he's older. Okay. Do we have any more emails you want to go to, or no?
No, I think that was it. I
Okay.
think we just had the two.
I'm gonna bring an app here, Eric. This one was I believe, from Google Plus, I believe is where this came from. I want to say it was Tom Zach. I want to say it was Tom Zach. I pronounce this, I'm going to guess, Picket Ball. PKTBALL, Endless Smash Sport. Okay. Endless in the name is a hint to the game itself. It is a quote unquote endless type game where you just basically, once you start, the question is how long can you keep going? You can get bonuses, you can get combos, you can change the arena that you're in, but it's basically the same game mechanics as you go on. And I will say, this is the kind of game that very, very, very quickly becomes very, very challenging. It's almost the kind of game where you have to have like ESP into the future. That's how fast the game is. If you will, take like imagine a tennis court where the opponent's on the top, you're on the bottom. The screen is divided. You have to tap. You have to hit the screen, tap, move your player, and when you let go is when you swing or hit. But you have to literally be almost so fast, you have to almost predict where they're going to be by you. Now, you don't have to be exactly in the perfect spot. It's like you could swing the racket anywhere around you. So as long as you're physically close to wherever the ball is going to be at, you will hit it in the right direction. This is one of those unbelievably fast, is the way I'm going to put it, game where you can get into the zone, you can get into the swing, you can really get a long volley going if you're really good. For the first couple games, it's going to be a very methodical click, 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 lost. What? You know,
Yeah.
But it is a fun game. I will say that. Again, it's called, I believe, Picket Ball or Packet Ball, PKTBALL by Laser Dog. E for everyone, completely free. Does have in-app purchases. 2,400 reviews, 4.6 ratings. That's a high rating.
Yeah. Well, it is PKTBAL PKTBALL / endless smash sport. Just in case there's more. So is this today's Pong then? Is this the new
That's
Pong?
a good way to put it, but I will say Pong didn't require ridiculous reflexes. It, to me, needed like foresight. You had to
Yeah.
see where the thing was going. This is really reactionary. Wow. Unbelievably quick is what you got to be.
Did you get a chance to try your luck on the PTK grabber, which is looks like a
Like a, yeah, it's like a claw machine. No. And to be honest, I despise when games put like daily mini games inside of their game.
yeah,
Just let me play the game. I came here to play the game.
I agree.
Okay, and I will say real quick, T-Mobile Tuesday, I've now gotten 3 movie rental or credits of, I believe it is $5, maybe $5. Yeah, $5 each week to my account. Never once taken them up on the free pizza because it's Domino's. If you work for Domino's, I'm sorry, but it's
Oh,
putrid pizza.
they dropped out already. They're done.
Didn't shock me. And Wendy's with the free Frosty. There's a Wendy's on the way home for me, but I never stopped there. You know,
Really?
yeah, never. never. Every Wendy's I go to in the state of Maryland, it's like they never have the fryers calibrated right, and the fries are never cooked all the way.
Hmm.
Um,
I don't eat their fries, but even though they do have sea salt on them. But here's a tech tip.
dude, sea salt is just salt.
I know.
Okay.
Here's a tech tip. If you go to Wendy's, order and you want to be on the cheap and you want a good burger, you order the single classic
Okay.
deluxe. It's like $1.15. It was
Oh,
$1.
wow.
What is it? The single classic deluxe. Yeah, single classic deluxe. It's almost like eating a salad on a bun. You get one really thin little piece of meat, and then you get like pickles and lettuce and onions, and
Yeah.
it's a big size burger, but none of it's meat. It's
Well,
just
any of my burger orders are followed up with the word plain, so it would not be as much of a
oh
value.
no, that's the opposite of this burger.
Yeah.
Totally the opposite.
Okay. Next app I'm going to bring here is called Memento Bay. I will say, to me, this is one of the most eloquently named apps or games, whatever. Memento Bay. To me, it just rings of something. You know what I mean? Some kind of like truthfulness kind of thing. No
It's like
video.
it rings of thinking back when you were near the water.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
It's by Boom Fruit, though.
Yeah. And how could it be bad? By Boomfruit. Brand new game. I'm going to say brand new. Only 37 reviews. 4.4. Only between 1,000 and 5,000 installs. Current version 1.0.34. So it's definitely newer on the market. Um, this is a quote unquote endless game, but not really. I mean, I don't know if you remember Cruising USA.
Yeah.
Cruising USA, every now and then you would come across a fork in the road, and the fork in the road would determine where you were going. And then when you go through the fork, um, it would, you could tell everything changed. Now with this game, what happens is you have to always go through the gates. The very start of the game, you go through the gate, then you go through the gate, then you go through the gate, and then they start shifting where the gate's at. And then you get to a point where it has two arrows going both ways, aka pick a direction, right or left. You go right, you get one type of environment that you're in. You go left, you have a completely different environment that you're in. If you look on the screenshots top left, you can see like the bowling pin pattern. That's your pattern of when you're going through that giant like overall world map kind of thing. So what I liked about this game a lot was
Mm.
the graphics are simple, the graphics are plain, the controls are easy. You basically just touch and hold the screen and your boat starts to move. You move your finger left and right and your boat goes left and right. So you're not covering up where you're at. Your finger's on the bottom of the screen, you're moving up. You can clearly see everything in front of you.
Oh, okay.
And it's very, if you don't like, the place you're in now, well, next time you play, don't go to the right, go to the left. You go to the opposite side, then you'll be in a completely different area. You're a very small boat on the screen. You do have to have some pretty precise actions. The good thing is if you hit stuff, you don't explode, you don't die, you don't reset, you just stop. And the screen, like flashes red for a second, and then you can keep going again. So you just slow down. There are jumps in the game, obstacles, stuff like that. So your main goal is to basically just follow the arrows on the very top of the screen and make it through the gates.
I bet Mark would love this game if he was here this week.
I honestly don't know, but now that you say that, I could see him either completely destroying it. I could see him completely destroying it. Yeah, I could. They call this a minimal art style game. I really like this art look because it's non-complex, it's non-crazy flashy, it just works. The boat almost reminds me of back in the day, Cobra Triangle. I'm not going to say anymore. I like this. This is going to actually stay installed for a little bit. If you take a look at like the third or fourth screenshot, you're almost in like a swampy type thing with like trees all around you. That is the kind of course that is not at all easy to go through because you ain't going slow.
It looks like, looking at the bowling pins at the top, that's like the last level for
That makes sense.
shows.
It makes a heck of a lot of sense because that does not look easy.
How far through that bowling pin did you make it, do you think?
I made it, I believe, halfway to the 3rd layer.
That's cool.
Trust me, it was not easy, and I think I just got lucky when I did it. There is some kind of in-app purchases. I might do the in-app purchase, whatever it is, just to support the guy. Yeah. Full paid static image ads between games, no audio. Oh,
Turns
he's
out
not
good
getting
for
a
him.
sex change. That's the first thing you have to know.
Okay, well, that's good for him then. Okay, well, we will talk to you next week. Once again, Mark will probably not be with us yet next week, but we'll also wish him well in case he's listening out there. And we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys. Audacity.
I know. I'm documenting an app.
Stop Audacity.
Post
File.
apps thing. And I think our stream finally did actually come back up.
Nice.
Email, called an email. Contacts. Email. And my belly is killing me.
Mhm.
Memento Bay. I just love the name of that app. That was honestly, you got to have something that differentiates, that draws you into an app because there's so many now, kind of thing. And
Well-
Memento Bay was just the name initially that had me.
I think part of it is if you go searching through them worlds, there's some ancient artifacts you can pick up along the way.
Yeah, there's
That's where
something about artifacts, and I don't know what it is. I
I
don't
think
get
that's
it.
where they get the mementos, maybe.
Oh, gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, that does make a lot of sense, Eric. The one thing I hated about that game that I didn't say, I forgot. I didn't see any way to turn the audio down, turn the music or sound off. But I'm up to like 80 podcasts in my feed, but I'm constantly out of shows. So
I need to start walking to work again so I can listen to more shows, because honestly, my drive to work is 2 minutes.
that's too short. Okay. Okay, let me do this, Eric.
I don't know. I don't know how you do it.
That was you. Oh, 'cause I don't have a choice. That's how I do it. Yeah. Life, night, carpool to work. And when I'm at work, I literally, today alone, Eric, and we are still streaming, today alone had 3 people come up to me and say, "You okay? Everything all right?"
Yeah, why? What did you have a face on or what?
I don't know.
Huh. So did you go off on them?
Yeah, I can't
You
because
asked.
no,
Here you go.
no. Because like you kind of insinuated, Eric, you didn't want to work. You were kind of afraid to work where I work. I have no problem going off on people whatsoever. But there's a couple people on that where I work at, I just can't go off on. I cannot. I'm a stinking stank jerk if I go off on them. And those are the people who asked if everything was okay. But they're just too nice. They're far too nice of a people. They're the people where if I was out with the wife walking with the kids and I saw them, I would literally stop, say hi, and give them a hug. I mean, because they're just not where most of the other people on that place. If I'm out in the public and I see them and I'm with my kids, I like to make sure my kids stay away from them. They're jerks.
Oh, Galactus 13 in the chat. I feel so bad. He's like, don't rub it in, Eric. It only takes you 2 minutes to get to work. And here in Jersey, it takes me 45 minutes to go 10 miles.
Yeah, Mark has that exact same stuff. And I've heard other people in Georgia say the same thing.
And it's even worse if he has to go into New York City. You know,
Well,
hey, we might
yeah.
be there soon because the Illinois. I don't know if you guys, if the rest of the world keeps up on Illinois government, how like we
Hell
have no
no.
budget. Okay, they just said that after the 30th of this month, any construction projects on any roads are being turned off because they don't have money to pay them. So all the contractors are going to stop, drop their shovels, and literally in Chicago, 5-lane roads will be reduced to 1 lane with no chance of them being fixed. Isn't that crazy?
When it comes to government, no. To me, that sounds perfectly normal and acceptable.
Oh man, the bridges that are half done will remain half done. It's crazy. It's funny.
Well, I'll just put it like this, Eric. You get what you pay for. Oh wait, that's right.
That's
A lot of money in taxes.
yeah. Well, they can't get it together.
Of course not. Of course not. I've had multiple people who work where I work, who are newer people, who very quickly turn to me and say stuff like, "I can't believe I come here and the building's not on fire. Like I can't believe I come here and stuff's actually running, and you can actually open the doors and you can actually do business." That's how
You mean
bad.
what are these people? The workers that you work with?
Yeah, because then they see it from the inside. They're like, this is not how business is supposed to be ran. This is not how this is supposed to be done.
So-
This is not how that's supposed to be done.
So the back end is going nuts, but the front end looks all right to the customer.
All right enough till stuff works.
Well, that's better than here, and we don't even have the front end looking right.
Well, and I say to them, I hate to say it, but that's all that really matters. Because, like my mom used to say, what are they going to do? Going to go over to Montgomery Wards and get their stuff? No, they can't. They don't have a choice. They got to come here.
All right.
Oh, well, yeah, true.
Our DMV is just notorious for just mean, ungrateful people working there.
Have you seen Zootopia?
Yeah. Like that, but those were not mean.
I know, but they were. Hey, Susan, do you want to hear a joke? Oh my God.
Right now?
I saw that and I was like, wow. This is I mean, people were mad. Some government said we're gonna boycott your movie.
Hmm.
Busy.
My wife and son are out. They're watching Finding Dory right now.
Oh, jeez.
That's a
Yeah.
big deal for kids, my kids' age, because Finding Nemo was.
Oh yeah,
the
it was
thing.
huge.
And they've been waiting their whole lives for this movie.
Now, of course, the movie's not accurate because it's a cartoon. But one of the ways that movie is scientifically inaccurate.
The Pacific Coast, whatever that Pacific Gulf Stream current thing was.
No, there was something to that. I want to say that was the I can't remember what it's called. It was one of the currents, But no, clownfish, which is what he was, both the dad and the son.
Mhm.
And you remember there was no other clownfish anywhere that you saw in the movie.
All right.
In clownfish schools, no matter the big or small, the biggest fish is always female. And if it's male, it literally changes its sex to female. So Nemo's his dad wouldn't be a dad. It would be a mom. Which of course changes it a little bit, but But that was one of the things. That was one of the things I was like, all right. And then I looked it up about clownfish, and yeah, you take a tank of clownfish, and the biggest one's a female. You take that fish out, and then the next biggest one's a male. Over like 2 or 3 weeks, it will basically become a woman.
That does sound like a clownfish.
Nature's sex change. All right, I'm going to stop the stream.